we are getting the projects, and this guy or this girl will be able to, my colleague.
Even startups are facing a huge crash.
Very, very critical question. Actually, I would go, as I mentioned to you earlier as well, how we project our company, because they will see how promising is the company.
Right, Soma. Let me firstly thank you for accepting my invitation and for being on this very valued session, Soma. Soma, let me kindly give you a small intro of what this is and why I did this, and a little bit about myself. Then we can kick off from there.
Sure.
Soma, myself, I've been a serial entrepreneur who have been in the startup space for nearly 13 plus years. We have been in the space of medical technologies. Now I'm specializing in the field of education technologies here in Sri Lanka and worked with multiple nations. At the very same time, we've raised a lot of funds during this journey. And Soma, one of the key points I wanted to start this program called Entrepreneur X is simply because I wanted to give back, Soma, because I think it's high time we pass this baton on to the next generation. And because the youngsters who are coming up to build their startups, they need to hear these vital points. And I mean, eventually they might find these points useful. I'm like, these things can actually help them build, and that is the total expectation, and that is the sole reason I wanted to find. I've been meaning to do it for a very long time, so I am so happy that I was able to find some like-minded people like yourself, and then to share this knowledge with the this entire community. So that's about myself. I would love to hear about you, and then your area of expertise, please. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Pramadi. And I think what you mentioned is like it's more people are youngsters are moving towards entrepreneurship more than they are preferring to join 9 to 6 kind of job. So it's a very good decision on your end, and I'm really impressed to hear that you have been in this startup journey for so long, and I'm very newbie in this journey. So I have started my HR consultancy for like 1 year now, 1 year plus. And I am a professional HR. So I was in corporate. I worked in startups previously in different industries. So one of them was, yes, definitely medical device. I was in a medical device company, and prior to that I was in financial institutions. So I started my career as an educator. So you are coming to the educator. So I have started as an educator, and then I have moved to the corporate as finance, and then moved to the HR. So actually, I wanted to start from HR, but the things came as along, and as I was from commerce, and then I didn't get a right path to join here in Singapore because I came from India. So I had to go through several steps to reach to HR. So HR is basically my passion, I can say, as well as I love to interact with people like you. And every day I have meeting with people here and there with different industries. So currently, Resource Impacts is, I am one of the partners of Resource Impacts. I'm a founder and a principal consultant for this company. And our main core part of Resource Impacts is HR compliance, because the reason why, beside that, we have others as well, like employee engagement, we have HR operations and things like that as well, but the core is HR compliance. The reason behind is when I worked with the startups here, I realized that many startups, they just start as a business.
Okay.
They don't know from where to start as a business, in that sense, like, I just want to earn money. That is the first purpose, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And along the way, when they start growing up and they don't realize that things need to be done in a proper order, and time comes by when they are maybe reaching 3 years, 5 years time, their papers are not right, They are not doing the right things. They are not treating the employers well. They are not giving the benefits what employees should receive. And being in a startup is already, people like those who are joining, they are already very stressed because they are not only doing one thing, they are doing multiple jobs in one time, right? Even though they join as one position, but they have to do a lot of things. So they're already very stressed, they're already very drained. But then at times management, they tend to forget that we are dealing with people first to bring the business. So there, when I think HR comes, and we have to bring out that human factor from the management. Like, we are you are working, but we are human. We are not machines. So when I was in one of the medical device company, our boss was very good. So but it is the position, it's the situation whereby when all the startups, they go through the same situation. There is no difference. I mean, I have worked in 3 startups, and every startup has the same way of going. And then I felt like, no, there needs to be change. And how we can change is, we have big companies, we have big HR consultancies who can work with big budgets, and then I thought that I should do something for these companies, with the startups, with the SMEs who are growing up, and they need to know this, the compliance part, the human part as well. So, with a very reasonable cost and proper documentation, everything was initiated by this company. And I'm working currently with more than 6 startups here.
Okay.
Some are our recurring clients, some are project based clients. So it's slow, I would definitely say, but reaching out to startups is more difficult, because they they are blocked by limitation of resources. So when we have to bring the resources first, like, you don't have to make a big hole in your pocket. You can just start with it. And that's why we have come out with a lot of flexible payment structure, a lot of flexible, as per your requirement. We will make your HR policies or your HR operation, make it easier to reach out to them. So now I'm quite happy that the new, even 2-3 months they have started, and they are reaching out to us, how to start, how to go about it, because we want our base to be strong from the day one. So I think that is very important. And yeah, that's how they are growing, and I hope together with them we are also growing.
I mean, to be very honest, I am very happy with your initiative because that is a very key and a very fundamental component that often startups miss during the creation of a startup. I've
Yeah.
been there firsthand. I've been there starting my own companies. Then I've been there coming and providing tips and tricks, guidance to consulting to other startups. Very often times we miss that.
Yeah.
I'm like it's very natural for them to neglect because they
Yes.
are goal oriented.
Yes.
Because the initiative of a startup by default is goal oriented, and it comes with profit. I'm like their target is we need to reach X, we need to
Mm.
earn money, and in
Yes.
anything else falling in that is actually not in the jargon of on startups. When they come into the picture, it's very
Yes.
natural, and I would like to applaud the fact that you took that initiative to help those startups in the first place. So thank you so much for initiating something like that. So let's
Thank you.
let's get into that in a very reformed manner. So I'd like to
Yeah.
maybe pick your brains and get your
Sure.
expertise on this.
Sure.
Now, to be honest, Soma, if you uh, if you look at recruiting for a top level company, let's say a 300 400 employee company, and then when you're recruiting for a startup, to be very honest, Soma, those are like day and night. uh, because when you recruit people for a company which has about, let's say, 300 400 or 1000 plus employees, they have a specific JD. right? So they have an execution style. They
Yes.
know the specific time frames to work. Let's say from 9 to 5 in the evening, you do it
Yes.
and then you exit. But when you recruit for an HR, when you recruit for a startup, Soma, that
Mm-hmm.
is exactly not the case, because
Yes.
when you recruit for a startup, uh, sometimes when you sit in front of the team member who is coming in, we need to be able to see through the fact that we are actually discussing, because he or she is not coming as an employee per se. They are coming
Mm-hmm.
as a team member. so
Yes.
so that synergy has to come from the start, from the initiating step itself. uh, so, Soma, would you like to shed some light on that area? Because recruiting for a multinational or a corporate company and recruiting for startups, how do you draw that line?
Yes. So, good, very good question, actually. So, it is very easy to attract top level talents for MNCs. And definitely when we were also young, we were looking for the giants, Oh, hopefully one day I will get a call from Microsoft, Google, HP, and all this, right? And similarly, a lot of students coming out, graduates, and all, they want to do interns in big companies and then move on to the bigger companies, right? But to be very honest, recently I had an opportunity in a networking session with some kids. I mean, I won't say kids; it's new students who are coming out. So they are university graduates coming out, new graduates, and there were some new entrepreneurs like us, and the total thought process has actually changed. So now I would say maybe there is 65 to 70% still we have who are looking forward to, definitely it's always a dream
Yeah.
to join big companies, right? So because they have you have a stability for say, and they have big benefits. But the thought process from this new generation, Gen X, you can say Gen Zs and all this, they have moved out from that because they feel that they can contribute more than what the company can provide in terms of their ability. So that is why we see a lot of new comers joining in startups because they don't want to stay in focused in one area. They want to explore, and they know that in startups you have that scope to learn multiple areas because you have to do a lot of things, right? So you are going lean, and then and probably you have to learn when if you are doing software, you have to learn other things together with the software. Sometimes you have to also understand a bit of hardware as well in the process. So uh, in a team where in MNCs we have a team of, in even one department have 50 people. Here in a team we have a department, not even department is there. There is like the whole office only have 5 people and everybody is doing everything. So they know that we are learning a lot of things, and when they learn a lot of things, eventually they try to figure out that I'm good at this because the generation, they are uh, they are exposed to so many things nowadays through internet, through social networking, things like that. LinkedIn is also quite a very good platform for them to gain such kind of knowledge, and so they want to explore what I'm good at. Okay, I have done this much of studies. Now, what I want to do. So, during our time, I don't think we had that, even that option.
Yeah.
So now they have this option, and there are people, there are these 35%, 30% of students who really want to explore, and that is a good thing. So during the recruitment, when I was doing recruitment for these startups previously, I saw really these students, they want to join the company because firstly medical device, and they are uh, very smart to understand the market, how the market is working now, where we have more demand. They will look into the industry specific, not previously we were like role oriented. Now they are not into role oriented, they are looking into industry. So as you can see now, people are a lot of people going to AI, data analysis, and all these things. And HR in that perspective is also, I will come to that later, has also changed. So when I was doing recruitment for my previous companies, I never had this issue of attracting talent. Even, and for me personally, I prefer to get experienced talents. When people are rejecting, the big industries are rejecting them because they don't want to probably they don't want to get the updated market, or they are scared to get it. But we can always redesign the job, because for them, they need a job, and for us we need experience for the startups. So I prefer to have experienced people and add on to the newbies to learn from them. Because not only we think that we know everything because we are doing from so many years, but actually in my career I have found that we have a lot of things to learn from them. So it's only, we think that it is difficult to attract the talent, but it's actually not that difficult to attract the talent if we project the company as a promising company. They know that, the stability probably is not there, probably the money in the compensation is not there, but they are also not, to be very frank, they also know that we are not here forever. They will want to come 2 3 years, 4 years, maximum 5 years, and then they want to move on to the another level. So initially it's not that difficult to attract talent, but of course to retain them is a challenge, I would say.
I think I would echo on the points that you just articulated, Soma, because it's the very same case here, and it will definitely be the same case for years to come. Because
Hmm.
the reason why I said that is, now the youngsters coming and stepping into startups, like you correctly put, they are not here for the job.
Yeah.
They are hungry for experience, which I really love, because they are open minded, they are coming on board to learn certain components, and they like to be enriched with the experience and the ecosystem, rather than getting something at the end of the day, or some money, because they come into the startup space knowing that they will not be compensated financially better,
Mhm.
because it's the compromise they make. the
Yes.
the challenge that I see in this, Soma, is, um, the with that, with that in mind, because when the youngsters come on board with experience, they tend to gather the experience and then to create an exit at times when the companies are not expecting.
Yes.
Yeah, so the companies out of blue will actually get rid of, I'm like, eventually face a situation where their highest talented individuals will be will be moving from the company at an X amount of time, just because it's not, I mean, even if you increase the salaries, even if you provide them benefits, they will not stay in the companies to work with. I
Yeah.
mean, this I have often seen with the Gen Zs and the other, I mean, like with the younger generation. So
Mhm.
as a result, I see uh, a silver lining in that, because the students, the youngsters are willing to learn, but at the very same time, even startups are facing a huge crash as a result of this. How do you mitigate that, Soma? Because retaining a talent pipeline is not easy. because
Mhm.
it would have been easier about like 10-15 years ago. We would have had a couple of CVs registered. When one goes off, we'll definitely be able to recruit someone. But now it's a nightmare. Retaining
Mm.
talent is, to be very honest, a very scarce thing, because at the end of the day, you're not recruiting a person for the job. At the end of the day, you're recruiting uh, you're recruiting talent.
Correct.
uh, so,
Yes.
so Soma, how do you come about that? Can you put some lighting on that, please?
Uh, you are absolutely correct, because what is the main challenge is, yes, retaining them, retaining those talents. Like, they are joining as a baby in a company,
Yes.
and they are growing up to a level that now they are teenager, for example, and then they are leaving. And when the company has molded them accordingly, now they are expecting, next 2 years is a very crucial year. We are getting the projects, and this guy or this girl will be able to, my colleague will be able to handle this, and then they leaves. But at the same time, I think the retention strategy for a startup is a very challenging thing. No matter how many policies I write for the retaining of the candidates, is always a big challenge, because at the end of the day, it is always the resource.
Mm.
Now, for retaining in current situation, what I'll say is the continuous training which we should provide them. And on the top of that, when there is a onboarding, there should be a very good onboarding process and a review process for, if you have two candidates, if you have three candidates, you have five candidates, whatever is that, should be a review process to understand the mindset of this employee or this intern, or the talent who you are looking, that yeah, this can be our future, where this person wants to go. Is he or she is more interested in personal development, professional development, or what is the goal? So here comes a very big role of HR. If you have a HR inside, or if you have a good manager, should understand through the review that what is the mindset. If the person is really not very clear about what they want, probably they are going to stay another 1 2 years. But I have seen, during it, it was not even a review, it was just a conversation, with my colleagues, and I understood that some are really, they don't want to stay in the company, they want to go for further studies, or they are really want, they will complain about the company, company should do this, because it's not complaint, it's just like a feedback. What do you think we can do better, that kind of thing. And then they will come out with, okay, maybe you can have a regular trainings, or maybe you can have some kind of this kind of policies, whereby at least every year you should send them for some kind of personal growth, that you can choose from any subject which interests you. And that can be a total game changer when you try to understand them. I mean, if you have five interns, I'm always saying about interns, because they are the one who decide. Now we don't decide, they decide. Now employees actually don't have, employers don't have that, startups, they don't have that, unless you are quite in a high level of startup, then you have that decision making. But generally interns, we have very good interns, very intelligent interns joining, and they will tell us that what they want, what where they want to go. And if we really want to hire them, we have to train them, we have to understand them. And through different, not one training or one program doesn't shoot with everyone. So we have to cater to each and every one, and we have to understand their strength and do the job redesigning. I have an experience whereby somebody came as an accountant background, and the person was actually interested doing the business management, was not at all interested in accountancy. So shared with me that I want to be in this in next 2 3 years, I want to do this. And then immediately as an HR, I have to speak to the manager that this person is really good. It's not like the way he talks, the way he presents is very very promising, and he can be future manager. They have very good potential. So how we can help them to keep in the company, as some of the employees might leave, senior employees might leave, and then we can slowly bring this person as junior manager and then move to the senior manager. So what we can do with limited resources. So luckily in Singapore we have a lot of fundings from the government to train these people. So I had got an opportunity to train this. Eventually they have stayed quite long time in the company. And it depends on how, definitely depends on how the company is growing, because at some point of time when they have a financial commitment, because when they start they are single, they are single, now family. So then they have this financial part, and then if we can't compensate at least to the market level, even they don't want to leave, they will leave because of their personal commitments. So I mean, to sum up your question, is the challenge will be always there, but planning from the beginning, if we plan and understand each of them in a routine way, I think that will make it easier.
Got it, ma'am. Soma, thank you for that descriptive thoughts and insights on that. Now, Soma, if to add on and then to tag on certain points that you just conveyed, to retain talent. I mean, if you look at the normal SOP of retaining talent, now let's say, like you correctly put, the student comes on board as an intern, and then eventually if we see, if the company sees potential that okay, we need to put him, like have him on board. I mean, there are multiple ways to keep him down. For example, let's say you could offer them a small loan, and maybe to buy a vehicle, or maybe to build a house. So then if they are like, so then if they are trying to maybe get like that, if they're trying to build up a relationship, to build a family, the company can maybe give a small loan to supplement their wedding, right? So then eventually the employee gets tied up to that ecosystem, because they're liable to come and pay that back. And also with that, the traditional company is expected to build in allegiance. That is why we have people working for companies for nearly 15, 20, 30, 40 years in the company. I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes even at a very basic salary, sometimes they just feel that okay, the company looked after me when I was in dire need, so I think it's my responsibility to give back to the company. So I think that has changed now. I mean, now it's not the case. Now, even if we are to offer a compensation, the youngsters are very thoughtful. So they would question, why are you giving me this compensation? Now, let's say if you are to offer me this, is there a hard bond? Do I have to sign it? If I want to
Uh-huh.
exit it, can I exit your company and go and pay this at another stage? I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
come up with creative thought processes
Yes.
to
Yes.
disrupt the traditional mechanism, and they are smart. And to be
Yeah.
very honest, I am very happy that they are
Mm.
questioning about it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question to you, Soma, is to retain talent, aren't the companies going through a lot? Uh, and aren't they going through, aren't they going to a step that they really don't need to go to retain talent? Because I'm just asking you to, I'm very curious
Mhm.
about it, because if you take a company, they will have a vision, a mission to achieve something. And obviously you can't have that mission and vision
Yeah.
accomplished when you don't have the team, so
Yeah.
you have to
Sure.
look at the team. So
Mhm.
the company will have to put in an additional effort to retain that talent. So
Yes.
on the contrary, Soma,
Mm-hmm.
if the company's vision is so good, so rich. Now, for example, I always try to lean on the vision of
Mm-hmm.
uh, SpaceX, like that is,
Mm-hmm.
you want to colonize Mars. Just
Mm-hmm.
imagine the thought process there, right? So we are here on Earth, and we are trying to colonize Mars. And that thinking alone, the visionary thinking alone, is like, to be very honest, I'm not sure whether it's possible or not. I don't know whether I'll live till we colonize Mars, but that alone is fascinating to attract the talent.
Mm-hmm.
So companies will have to go through depths that they didn't want to go in the first place to retain talent.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it worth for the company to image to maintain an image that will automatically attract talent? Which one will work, Soma?
Very, very critical question. Actually, I would go, as I mentioned to you earlier as well, how we project our company, because they will see how promising is the company. How is your company in next 2 years, 3 years? Is it because they are going through a lot of ups and downs? When we joined the workforce, we still had that stability. Now we don't have the stability at all, and so many changes in the technology and things like that. So they are quite aware of what is happening in the market,
They have
and
options. Yeah.
yeah, they have options. They see, and then they will say, oh, this company is doing, but it looks like, very traditional. Probably in next 5-10 years it won't be there anymore. So probably we won't, because they have choice. So it won't like to join. It is from their end. From the employer's perspective, I would say that, as you mentioned, those kind of out of box thoughts will come. It's coming because they are a lot of companies, those who are, I mean, every day I see in LinkedIn, they have this platform, they have that platform. And I was, a few days back, I was looking into there was a startup awards recently in Singapore, and there was this top 25 companies who received the award, and I was looking in each of them what they are doing, and they are really so creative. Companies like, they are working on AI with the sustainability of environment, climate changes, and all these things. They have cyber security, because with the AI coming, a lot of cybersecurity things are coming on the way. So, what kind of industry we are focusing on? These youngsters have to go. They are also studying, and these employers are also young employers. They are all new startups. They are also young blood. So they know from what is coming, at least in next 5 to 10 years, what we are going to face. And those companies, which in Singapore, I will say, like banks, mostly banks, or government services, they have already started the contract position, because they are also saying, I don't want a permanent position.
Hmm.
We are okay if you're working with us for 6 months, 10 months, or 1 year, or maybe even a project basis. So they don't want that kind of commitment from you, that okay, you are permanent position, we are giving you for lifelong, you are staying here in this company until our company dissolves or whatsoever. But they have also changed their strategy. And the new companies, they are also hiring the like-minded people in their company. In their company, they are working with same friends with whom they are graduating. So they are growing together, and eventually, when they are joining as a team, they are starting this kind of companies together, and they're making success together. So they don't have to really look outside, to hire. So I think a lot of things in terms of startups has changed, and thought process has changed. The way we look into the market, job market, has changed a lot. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm also learning about it every day. I am looking into different articles. I'm looking into different portfolios of these startups, and they are so young. They are in their early, some of them are in their early 20s. Some of them are just, graduated, and they are, like 28, 30 years, and they have started this business, and they have so, broad vision. But they are also saying, I have met someone that we don't know what is happening in next 10 years. We also don't know what kind of changes are coming in the technology. But at least for now, people are ready to listen. When I'm bringing this product to the market, uh, people, they go to job fair, they go to different networking, they go to this science uh, exhibitions and all, like technological innovation kind of seminars. And then when they project their views, their vision, what you mentioned, like what we are doing and things like that, a lot of investors are willing to invest in this.
Mm.
They are willing to do. I mean, they don't know how long it will go, but at least they try to bring this support this kind of business. So that is very important, that what where we are heading towards.
Mm.
And those who are already in the traditional, they have already accepted the fact that XYZ is not coming with us and staying with us forever. Let's make it flexible. Let's make it contractual. So I think that has changed,
Mm.
yes.
Got it. Thank you for those insights, Soma. I think that is exactly the case. Even companies right now, like you correctly put, they are not planning to retain an employee for a very long time because they know that the generation is actually not going to return them in the first place. So
Yeah.
they want to build an environment much as possible to retain them. But I mean that burden falls straight away on HR.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a nightmare for the HR to handle with the hiring and the firing of companies at this given
Yeah.
phase. Yeah.
Yes.
Soma, just wanted to add a different perspective into the discussion. That is,
Mhm.
I would like to see how this actually complements or maybe becomes a threat. I would like to see how that
Mm.
works. Now, I've oftentimes seen the use of freelance resources to projects,
Correct.
and that is very highly used as we speak, because now I've seen startups building up, and I have been on boards to consult certain startups.
Mhm.
I've been on
Mhm.
mature boards to consult
Mhm.
certain startups.
Mhm.
Sometimes the companies are very comfortable freelancing certain tasks, and they
Mhm.
have never seen the person face to face and eye to eye, but they deliver on time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
one of the most challenges that brings to the picture as a result of bringing on freelance project is the HR compliance,
Yes.
as well as a certain level of, let's say, control,
Mm.
so on and so forth, is actually
Mm.
challenged. How
Mm.
is that right now in Singapore, or are you familiar with that? Can you shed some light on that, Soma?
Yeah. So a lot of to since all the companies are going quite lean, and with in recent, I mean, in past 5 6 months, we have seen a huge change in that because of the US tariffs and all, and companies have been, I mean, a lot of US companies, they are closing down business here in Singapore, because in Singapore the manpower cost is quite high, and they are preferring to open somewhere in Pakistan, India, Vietnam, where the manpower is reasonable. I won't say cheap,
Mm.
because we try to get we it is impossible to get cheap labor now, but it is reasonable in terms of Singapore. So freelancing, even for my consultancy, I have only in my team. I have only two full timers, including myself, and rest are all project based. So each consultants, they are professional. They have certification. They are all professional HR. They know what is the compliance, HR compliance, because not all HR will know about compliance. They need to understand. They have to keep themselves updated. They need to do CPD hours to keep that in their mind, like what is going on in the market and so on. And these consultants are tied up with us, so whenever there is a project, we will freelance, not freelance, I'll say there is, it's kind of a contractual. So okay, this project goes to x person, so he has 3 months to finish this project. The Y person has this project which is probably like 14 days, so this Y person will go to this project. So it is a project base with commission. And if I have to say about gigs, a lot of gig jobs are in rise in Singapore. Why? Because
Lot of what jobs mein, Soma?
gig. So gig is like kind of freelance,
Okay.
and it's
How do you spell that?
GIG.
Gigs. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is like, you are a full time worker in a company, and you want to work in, for example, you are interested in event management. So during the weekend, you just go and join as a gig employee, or as a weekend. It's not even a part timer, not a contractual, not a it's kind of freelance, but it is depending on, because this event is for 2 days. So if you are going there, they maybe 100 of people have applied for this gig job, and then you are going, you got the chance to be one of them. So they are paying you maybe $50 per hour for that, or maybe for the whole day they are paying you 200. So in that sense, it is important to understand that to few things, the organizer must know, uh, compliance wise, the organizer must know the background of this person, because in certain industry gigs are not allowed. And but in the other industries, for example, food and beverages, certain food and beverages, you need a license, you need the certification how to handle the food. Some of the job scope, you wouldn't need that. So they, for example, if they want somebody to just clean the table or to just welcome the guest, you don't need that. So these students, or this uh, homemakers, I will say, prefer to go to these small jobs, because they want to switch from, maybe from home to work life again. So they start with a small. Another reason is giving some of the project overseas is, especially we have seen in the IT sector, is very, very common. So, because we have a shortage of talent in that sense in Singapore, and even if we have those talents, it's super expensive to hire them. So, giving certain kind of, for example, UI UX designer, or certain role which they don't need you to be here, like website, maintaining of the website. The company is here, and they are doing the website from the other part of, maybe Philippines. The company is there in Philippines. So if I have to pay for a website here in Singapore, probably 1,200. In Philippines, I'm just paying like $300, $400. So that kind of job is quite common in Singapore. And if you ask me about the compliance, to be very honest, uh, in two facts are there. One, those who are MNCs, they are very compliant. They have to be compliant, because in Singapore the law is very strict. So they can be, they have to submit the audit report. They have to show their vendor list and everything, whether they are licensed or not. For startups, sometimes that is the gap. So they try to get some of the positions which they at their own risk, to save cost. Again, come back to the resources, they will outsource it, which is not always correct in terms of compliance. So, and not correct in the sense that sometimes they know, sometimes they even don't know, because they don't have someone to suggest. So that is why when, as in resource impacts, we go to, we sometimes get workshops to be done by the NGC union. So we have the sessions there where you can share with the owners, the company owner, that these are the things you can do, these are the things you cannot do. So at least they know that, if you do this thing knowingly, and later if there is an audit, and you are going to be fined.
Okay.
So uh, in Singapore it is very, very strict actually. Most of the companies, those who are startups also, they are always very concerned about the if they are doing the right thing or not. But unfortunately, always, as we mentioned, the business is always in their mind first. So at times this takes backseat. So when they are a bit stable, then they will look, to join the session. Then they will ask all, what can we do, how can we do it. So yeah, but I think for me, I will prefer that when we start, as you are looking into business as dollars and cents, please focus on the setup from the day one, so that you won't miss anything. I have one of my friend, he was sharing when he started the company 12 years back. He started as a talent acquisition company. And in the second year of his business, he was in the lawsuit by one of the client, had to pay like $20,000. And he was bankrupt during that time, because he was just a newbie and didn't know a lot of things as well. And we don't know what kind of things we have to do when we start. And in Singapore, the law is very, very strict, very stringent. And when your clients do such kind of thing, it is not only a very big, I will say, shock for the new, like a startup, to pay such kind of compensation for maybe a very small thing. I don't know the actual reason, but I just know that he had to pay that. So
Got it.
which doesn't worth. I mean, you are starting a business with probably $0,
Yes.
and in the first year, you have to pay $20,000.
Doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So why don't I start from the beginning, so that I don't have to go through all these things, right? So I will always try to share this kind of thought with my prospects and clients, that even if I go for audits, sometimes they call me for audit, say, see, Soma, these are the things I have, I don't have this. So I will suggest them that, please do this you need to do, because you don't know if someday something happen, you need to pay a lot more than this. So that will be my suggestion, that is, compliance in Singapore is very strict. Freelance is going on, outsourcing is still there, but just try to know that what are things we have to do, we should do, and we shouldn't do that, so that we don't have to uh, you know face any such monetary issues.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very enlightening, and I think that's the very case throughout the world. Soma, I think, like you correctly stated, it's uh, it's one thing to not know,
Yeah.
and get fined. The other
Yeah.
thing is it's another thing to ignore and
Ignore.
get fined, right? So
Yes.
I think startups will have to grow up a little bit,
Yes.
because we
Mm.
have enough access to technology to get ourselves educated about it. And
Yes.
it's I think a responsibility of startups as we speak. Soma, to sum this discussion up, uh, my question to you is, to the youngsters, for the
Mhm.
upcoming entrepreneurs, if they
Mhm.
are interested in building a career like yourself in the field of HR, who wants to become an HR champion like yourself,
No, I'm not yet.
uh,
Yeah, I'm also growing.
how would you actually direct them? What would be your message? Something that somebody in your younger self would have executed. Now, let's say someone in who's about to come into the field of HR. What
Yeah.
how would you add some thought into it?
For I would always say that HR is, as in the word itself, it's a human resource. So we work for human. So as now more people are joining in AI, and robots will be coming in next 20, 30 years. I don't know what's happening. Probably robots are the one to control humans. I don't know what is happening, but whatever will happen will be to for us. It will be good or bad. It's later on, but so far we see a lot of good things are also happening. Some are not so good. Are also like job loss and all these things are also happening. So my purpose and my advice to the those who are in HR, those who wants to evolve the HR, it's actually a good time while people are busy talking to the robots and making robots. We look into the human factor of people. So while we are doing making our daily operation, HR operations, very smooth through AI tools, from talent acquisition to the filtering of the resumes, everything we are doing now with a lot of other the tools which are available, and we are getting a lot of time to look into the other part of the business, which is the strategical part. And when we say about strategy, the first thing which as an HR which comes to my mind is the human. So finally, when we should do something which is sustainable in terms of emotion. Emotion. So far, I don't think AI. Not so fast. AI is able to take away from us so that human to human touch. So that's why we have a lot of clients who have employee engagement program. We have team building programs. We have different well-being sessions, well-being talks. So through that, at least the teammates and the different departments, they can gather together, they can share the personal thoughts. And the main role, I will say, for HR is to please, I know we are very very busy when we are working. We are very busy. We don't have one thing to do. We have many many things to do in the workplace. But at least during your lunch time, during the tea break time, whenever you have time, please interact with your colleague. That is very very important. And nothing can beat the interaction which we all always have. We say it that the pantry chit chat session. So we go to take some water and we have a chit chat, and during that time we can understand what's happening in their personal life. And sometimes the business can be affected because of what is going on in their personal life. So it is not that we are interfering in their personal life, but the strategy should be how can we help our colleagues emotionally, uh, so that our business can grow.
Got it.
The rest of the things, because our colleague, we trust our colleague, he or she is very skillful, can do everything. That's why they are in the as a part of our company. But at times we fail to understand what is going in their life, so which can affect them and eventually the business. So that is a very a big thing for us, and our role and as an HR to understand that part, that not only with our colleagues who are working with us, also sometimes with the management
Mm.
level also. So we have to reach out to them, talk to them, have workshops for the management team, because they are very stressed. Most of the time they can't even share things with their teammates, right? Because a lot of things are confidential. So they can have some we can have workshops with them, the therapy sessions and all these things. Family sessions, sometimes we even don't understand, this family day is such a beautiful thing to do in corporates, because most of the time when we are working with the different countries, we have time differences. So when the Singapore time office hour ends, US time starts. So they, after they come back home, they will eat dinner and then they have to go for the work. So at least, if nothing is possible, at least once a month we should have this family day. Either you can have it in the office, if some colleagues they don't want to come to the office and see their colleagues face again, and then you can have, the company should allocate one half, at least a half Friday or something like that, to spend with the family. So no calls, no business talks during. So small little things which can emotionally connect us with each of them. As an HR, we can make some changes to the policies which are more to the human side of us. So work wise, I won't say anything. Those who are joining HR now, we have to always think strategically. For operations side, a lot of things has been done, and also the compliance. Please keep yourself updated, get yourself trained, understand the labor law, so that you can suggest, you can advise people, and you can also get updated to that. So that will be my advice.
Right. So thank you so much once again for spending your valuable time with me. I think this
Thank
was
you
a
very much.
very valuable session, and I believe the audience would definitely make the most out of it. It's a very timely discussion, and it's a very timely era to share the discussion.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Soma, I look forward to have a chat with you in the future. So
Sure,
then,
sure. Thanks, Pramadi, for this opportunity. Thank you very, very much.
right, Soma. Okay, then we'll catch you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, bye bye.